Okay, what's up guys? I'm here today with Josh from Elite Carpentry. We're in this fabulous Las Vegas mansion. We're installing some MDF baseboard. So what we're doing here, we have a recessed detail. He's actually installing the baseboard underneath an aluminum reglet. And the idea here is that everything has to be perfectly in line and flush with the drywall. But the challenge here is that we have a number of studs that are out of plane. A lot of them are set back. They're this is non-structural though, right? So
correct.
Yeah, so they're non-structural, it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna fiddle with them with shims, and we're actually gonna run through the technique that he's using to get this all perfectly in line with hopefully the least amount of effort.
So the whole purpose of doing this is to make the base be in the same line or the same plane as the wall. So whether the wall's plumb or out of plumb a little bit, curved or not curved, we want the base to be flat with the wall so it looks like it's perfect. That's the whole goal. So in order to do that, we need to make sure that the base is with the wall. We built this little jig, just some tape and some scrap base. Now we can see where everything needs to sit. So instead of measuring anything, I'm able just to take my shim and put it right to that base line right there. That's gonna get me where I need to be. So the way we're doing that is normally we would use like cardboard shims for mica shims, paper, playing cards. But we're using screws on this job because we have not only the wood stud to deal with, we also have this reglet to deal with. And so this gap that we're gonna get, we're filling that in with adhesive. And normally we use a polyurethane adhesive, but on this job, we're using Titegrab from Titebond. We're using this product because it doesn't drip, it doesn't ooze, so when we put it on the wall, it stays there. And then when we press the baseboard against and it smushes in there, it acts like a liquid shim. So, and it's extra insurance policy because that baseboard's now stuck to the wall. And if the nails do fail, the glue still holds it. So,
by setting up the level with this block in here, you can see that we're below the reglet, so there's no interference with that, and then that allows you to see the gap along the stud here, right? So this is ensuring that we're perfectly in line and plane, and then we're just not gonna bump on this portion up top here to throw us off. So obviously there's nowhere to pull a tape to, so he's pulling a tape essentially to the corner of the wall. So that's where this is. We're working on outside points. So I'll push in right there. We're perfectly in line here, and that gives you a little bit of wiggle room when the other piece comes in line here, that you can fiddle and get your corner just in line with the speed. So here's a prime example of when 21 gauge makes sense. We're just shooting this baseboard on, and because we're glue assisting, you really don't need all that much holding force. So a 21 gauge is between a 23 and an 18. This is a slight head fastener, so there is a little bit of a head there. It's a 2-inch long fastener. And because we're adding glue in the middle here, we're gonna be shooting above and below, and then the glue is gonna actually do the majority of the holding. He's coming in here and doing now is we're bumping the base up to the bottom of the reglet, and then we'll scribe along the bottom. It'll conform to the floor basically. So now he's gonna take the scribe tool, which is set to the gap that you wanna achieve, and he's gonna pull it along the bottom, which is gonna transfer the shape of the floor into the baseboard. So I just want to thank Josh for having us out to this awesome site. I'm leaving him with a few guns, so make sure you follow Elite Carpentry on Instagram. He's going to be putting a few of these through the ringer. Josh, I'm going to see you in a month. IBS. Thanks again.